Hello again, Cardi. It's RJ back with another video. Let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Have here a Sports Flicks card from 1986. They put a lot of cards in 1986, their first year. This was from the best of the Decades Greats set, I should say. Decades Greats, about 130 cards, something like that. I didn't take the time to look at the set this morning, but what I loved about this, I love the Sports Flicks cards. They're very inexpensive to be had. Nobody particularly liked them. So from a set collector standpoint, that's really great because I can pick them up really inexpensively, And this particular set had all the greats. I'm such a collector of historical cards, meaning cards of the all-time greats. Rare. It's doubtful I'll ever get an original Ty Cobb or original Honus Wagner card from their playing days, but I can certainly have all those great Hall of Famers in modern cards and learn all about the history of those players by looking at the back of the card. So I like to collect those kind of sets, which is why Decades Greats was great for me. And this one, if you see on the back here, because it was produced in the middle of the 1980s, it called Mike one of the best of the 70s at the time, which he was. But the interesting thing is that when the Sporting News put out a publication at the end of the decade of the 80s, Mike was listed as the best player of the decade of the 80s. So, if Sports Flicks had waited just a little longer to make this set, they could have highlighted Mike in a separate card because of that. Anyway, today's random baseball collectible of the day, another box set. I actually just picked this one up recently off of eBay. I got into just dying to have it recently because I kept seeing it over and over and I wanted to get it. This is what is known as the Topps Circle K. Circle K, for all you people out in the western part of the country, I believe you're familiar with Circle K. Out here on the eastern side of the country, we do not have Circle Ks. We got Wawas or Sheets or 7-Eleven, but no Circle Ks out here. So this is from '85, and it was complete collector set, baseball's all-time home run king. Sorry that the run is covered by that little price tag. You can see it was $1.99 plus tax back in '85. Something that Topps put out for the Circle K company. And take a look at that checklist. Another one of these card sets where I love buying these card sets because of the quality of players you get for $1 or $5, between $1 and $5, you'll get 33 cards. It's interesting too to note down here, if you look at that, it says card number 31 was Joe Dimaggio, but there's an asterisk, and it said he's not included in this thing because essentially I'm sure that they started producing cards with Joe Dimaggio on it, but DiMaggio's estate called them on it real quick and said, hey, you do not have our permission to use Joe's image in your card set, so please pull it. So if you look at all these names, there's some really, really big names. And at the end, they threw in Lee May, he was an all-star quality, a really good player at the time. But he was not, what do I want to say? He was not the in the top 33. I think that's what this is. I think this is like the top 33 home run hitters at the time. I might be incorrect about that because I'd have to go back and recalibrate the list for 1985. But Lee May might have been the next on the list, and DiMaggio. Oh, you know what it was? Oh, I get it. Because they knew they couldn't do DiMaggio, and he was number 31 on their list. They took it to 34, and they probably didn't pull him from the list. They just knew they couldn't get his license, so they went to card number 34, Lee May. That's probably what it was. But Lee May was like I said, a quality home run hitter, and they've got them all. You get all your big name stars are in this set. The 500 home run club at the time is completely included in this set. Every single one of them, which is one of the best things. Lou Gehrig's up there. Schmidt was in the set too, because by this time he was already one of the leaders in career home runs, and clearly he'd make it to the 500 home run club a couple of years later. So it's a great little box set, one of the ones in my collection I'm so thrilled to have. Today's trivia question, in keeping with the theme, is a birthday again. Interesting thing I found when I looked up who I should ask about this trivia question. So what I will say for you is a really good prize today, so I hope you guys are watching. I'm going to, I might drop this video a little later in the day because I think the prize is so cool. But an interesting little tidbit of birthdays. So today is December the 15th. Which two of this year's, like during the 2021 season, there were several big name rookie cards we were all chasing. But what two baseball rookie stars, and star chase card people, star cards, we couldn't get enough of these guys' cards this year? What two well-known rookies share this date as birthday? In other words, not only were they both born on December 15th, they were both born in the same year on December 15th, and they're two of the hot rookies from this year. Be the first person to email me with the correct answer. I'll include my email and a repeat of the question in the description below. Be the first person to email me, and I will send to you two Hall of Fame Rookie of the Year cards. These are two cards from the 1980 Topps set of former Rookie of the Year players and Hall of Famers, Rod Carew and Willie McCovey. So I think that's a quality prize. For getting that answer right, I need to know the two current rookie stars who share this day as a birthday. I want you to tell me this, though. I want you to tell me their names, both names, and what year were they born. So I'll make you do a little bit more digging. All right? And like I said, I'll include the email and a repeat of the question in the description below. So today, what I want to show off to you is I finally finished a subset by trade from this year's archives. I think it's a really cool concept that Topps came up with. It is the movie poster cards. If you buy a box of Archives Hobby, you'll get a folded up piece of paper. It's a small little mini-sized movie poster. What they did is they took some of the better teams in history and pretended that that was a movie by putting in like a moniker and the names of some of the stars of the team. So here you got the family, which, if you know the 79 Pirates, they rallied around the song by Sister Sledge called "We Are Family." You got Dave Parker, Willie Stargell, and Manny Sanguillen. Gives a little bio of the 79 Pirates. That was card number 1 of this little movie poster set. Card number 2, no unique name here, simply the Big Red Machine, obviously. This one featured 6 players on it from the Big Red Machine: Ken Griffey, Dave Concepcion, Tony Perez, George Foster, Joe Morgan, and Johnny Bench. Obviously, the mid-70s Cincinnati Reds teams, I'm not going to list it just at 75 or 76. They were good all throughout actually, you should have seen back into the early 70s, because they had some World Series appearances early in their tenure as well. But these guys dominated in the 70s. So that's a great little movie poster card. This is an interesting one. Andrew McCutchen is Uncle Larry. Kutch was rocking that outfit one day. He made it onto a short print card looking like that. And they made this really cool poster card of him as Uncle Larry. It's kind of like, who was that basketball player? Did Uncle Drew or something like that? So did Andrew McCutchen as Uncle Larry. I thought that was a clever card there. Then you have the Big Three. I think they could have come up with a better name. These are the Braves teams, because they highlighted on the pitchers, which was one of the biggest reasons these guys dominated so much. These guys, what they did, 14 straight division titles. That's insane. Never unheard of, But clearly these three were the big part of it. But I think they could have come up with a better name. Anyway, that's just me. Because here's another, the Big Three. 2. Maybe that's why they did that. The Big Three, number 2. This was from the early 2000s Oakland A's pitchers, Zito, Tim Hudson, and Mark Mulder. So maybe that's why they did it this way, the Big Three, and then the sequel, the Big Three, because these guys came after him. Granted that, then. Here we go. And then clearly the Boys of Summer. It's funny, they call it a 1950s Brooklyn Dodgers joint. Pee Wee Reese, Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, and Duke Snider. The Boys of Summer, great book. That's where the name comes from. I don't know if they were ever called the Boys of Summer by the media during their playing years, or if it was just Roger Kahn in his book that came up with the name. But they were certainly one of the better teams, most legendary teams ever, those 50s era Dodger teams. And certainly makes a great little movie poster card highlighting that team. And you got the Boys of Zimmer. This was kind of funny. This was the late 80s Cubs teams. I want to say 86, 87, 88, right around there. They had some chances to get to the playoffs, but could never get over the hump. So Ryan Sandberg, Andre Dawson, and Greg Maddux were your Boys of Zimmer. Don Zimmer being the manager at the time. The Killer Bees, love that kind of a moniker. That was the Biggio and Bagwell. Don't know if I particularly like the layout of the card. I mean, if you're going to do a bee, wouldn't you think like yellow and black would have been better than this kind of like red or orangish, black, brick red kind of a black thing? I don't know. But they did it that way. Then you have here Murderers Row, Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth, the 27 Yankees. Not much you need to add to that great card right there. Here's another, the Swinging A's. Back in the the dynasty of the early 70s A's. Raleigh Fingers, Reggie Jackson, Vital Blue, Blue Moon Odom. That's just a great name, Blue Moon Odom. Catfish Hunter and Gene Tennis. Catfish Hunter's another great name, but yeah, clearly the A's of the 70s deserve their own little movie card, Oh my, the Seattle Mariners of 75. You got Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr., and Randy Johnson. An iconic team that won all those games, and one got into the ALCS in dramatic fashion, but couldn't get to the World Series, sadly. The Blake Street Bombers, the Colorado Rockies teams back in the 90s. Bichette, Galarraga, and Walker. Vinny Castillo was on that team also, who was kind of like a Blake Street Bomber at one time. Not sure why he wasn't included in that. Maybe he was gone by then. Like Father, Like Son is pretty cool. It's, three of the current stars and their their fathers, Hall of Fame fathers now, all of them. Craig Biggio and Kevin Biggio, Vladdy Sr. and Jr., and then Dante and Bo Bichette. Actually, Dante Bichette, I'm thinking Larry Walker. No, it's Dante Bichette is not a Hall of Famer. I thought that was Larry Walker for a second, but I get my names mixed up. That's a cool little card, Like Father, Like Son. Black Aces. I commented on this card once before when I picked it up. I don't necessarily... It's a great card, and I'm glad they did an homage to some of the great Negro pitchers. But I really wish they had done this with stars of the Negro Leagues. They chose to highlight, 7 of the great black pitchers of Major League Baseball. You got Bob Gibson, Fergie Jenkins, Dwight Gooden, C.C. Sabathia, Vida Blue, Dontrell Willis, and Dave Stewart. But again, I think they could have come up with several quality pitchers from the Negro Leagues instead of those individuals there. Nothing to slight them, but would have liked to have seen the homage to the Negro Leagues, just saying. And then Slam Diego. This is the current youth brigade out there in San Diego. Trent Grisham, Will Myers, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Manny Machado. They have quite the team over there, and I would expect those guys to get into the playoffs a lot more often than they have recently. But anyway, so that's the completion of my movie poster card set from Topps Archives this year. There's 15 of them. Just want to show that off to everybody. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen many of these cards if you've been involved in any breaks, but I just wanted to show off mine. I got the whole set now, so very happy about that. Don't forget the trivia questions. A really cool prizes. I want to show those off again to you. Those two Hall of Famers and former Rookie of the Years for the two current rookie stars who share a birthday. I need both of their names and the year in which they were both born, because they both share today's date as a birthday. So please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, all that jazz. Thanks for taking time to watch my video. Hope to see you again on Friday. Thanks a lot. Take care.